Have you ever wondered why some people seem to bounce back stronger from failures while others get stuck in a rut? You see, there's an intriguing paradox at the heart of failure. It's often seen as a negative, a sign of weakness or incompetence. But what if I told you that failure can actually be a catalyst for success? Yes, you heard that right. Failure, as unpleasant as it might feel, can be a powerful tool for growth and development. It's all about how you view it, how you react to it, and most importantly, what you learn from it. Imagine if we could recalibrate our view of failure, not as a dead end, but as a detour on the road to success. This shift in perspective can open up a world of possibilities, transforming each setback into a stepping stone. The key lies in changing our perspective on failure and learning how to extract valuable lessons from it. The first step in learning from failure is shifting our mindset towards it. Let's think about it. Failure. The word itself can feel heavy, right? It's often seen as a sign of defeat, an end point. But what if we told you that it's not the end but the beginning of an incredible journey? Yes, you heard it right. It's time we started viewing failure as a stepping stone towards success rather than a stumbling block. This is where the concept of the growth mindset comes into play. Coined by psychologist Carol Dweck, a growth mindset is all about believing in the potential for development and growth. It's about understanding that our abilities and intelligence can be nurtured through effort, learning, and persistence. So, how does this tie in with failure? Well, when we adopt a growth mindset, we start seeing failure in a different light. Failure is no longer a dead end, but a detour sign that helps us find a new route to our goals. It becomes a teacher offering valuable lessons that can guide us on our journey to success. Imagine you're an explorer in an unknown territory. You're bound to hit dead ends, stumble, and fall, but each time you do, you gather valuable information about the terrain, which helps you chart a better course. That's exactly how failure works when we approach it with a growth mindset. It's essential to remember that failure is not exclusive to the unsuccessful. The most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, scientists, artists, they've all faced failure. But what sets them apart is their ability to embrace failure, learn from it, and continue their journey with renewed determination. In the grand scheme of things, every failure is just a small fragment of the larger picture. It's a part of the process that molds us, shapes us, and helps us grow. It's the grit in the oyster that ultimately produces the pearl. So the next time you encounter failure, don't let it pull you down. Instead, shift your perspective, embrace the lessons it offers, and use it as a stepping stone to reach greater heights. Remember, every failure brings you one step closer to success. Once we've shifted our mindset, the next step is to reflect on our failures. Reflection is a powerful tool, a mirror of sorts, that allows us to look back and examine our actions, decisions, and their outcomes. It's a process that requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to learn. Let's start with asking ourselves, what went wrong? This isn't about pointing fingers or laying blame. This is about recognizing the facts. Maybe our strategy wasn't well thought out. Perhaps our execution was flawed, or it could be that external factors beyond our control played a part. Whatever it is, it's important to identify it. Next, we move on to the why. Why did it go wrong? The answer to this question often reveals deeper issues. Maybe we didn't fully understand the market. Maybe we didn't have the right resources, or maybe we were just too hasty. Understanding the why gives us a chance to dig deeper into the root causes of our failure. Finally, we ask ourselves, what could have been done differently? This is not about dwelling on the past, but about learning for the future. Could we have done more research? Should we have reached out for help earlier? Could we have waited for a better time? These reflections help us build a roadmap for future success. This process of reflection is not a one-time exercise. It's a continuous journey of learning and growing. It's about being honest with ourselves, accepting our shortcomings, and taking responsibility for our actions. It's about not letting failures define us, but allowing them to guide us. Reflection is more than just a post-mortem of our failures. It's an opportunity to gain insight, to learn, and to grow. It's a chance to turn the tables on failure, to use it as a stepping stone towards success. And remember, reflection isn't about being harsh on ourselves. It's about being constructive, about finding ways to improve and do better next time. It's about turning our setbacks into comebacks. So the next time you face a failure, don't shy away from it. Embrace it, reflect on it, learn from it. Because in the grand scheme of things, reflection turns experience into insight. After reflection comes adaptation, the process of using what we've learned to improve our approach. Adaptation is like a chameleon on a multicolored canvas, seamlessly shifting its hues to blend with its ever-changing environment. But this doesn't happen by magic, it's a calculated process, an intentional adjustment to the new realities around it. This is the essence of adaptation, the ability to take the insights gained from reflection and use them to adjust our strategies. So how do we adapt? The first step is to identify what needs to change. It could be our methods, our mindset, or even our goals. We need to be open to the idea that our original plan may not always be the best one. It's okay to pivot, to change direction. Just think about some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. They didn't stick rigidly to one path. Instead, they were flexible, ready to adapt when they saw an opportunity or a challenge. Next, we need to develop new skills or enhance existing ones. This is where our reflection comes into play. We've identified our weak spots, now it's time to turn them into strengths. This could involve taking a course, finding a mentor, or just practicing until we get better. It's about growing, improving, and becoming more resilient. Finally, we need to implement these changes. This is the action phase, where we put our plans into motion. It's about taking those lessons learned from failure and transforming them into a roadmap for success. It's about not just surviving, but thriving in the face of adversity. But remember, adaptation isn't a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process, a journey of constant learning and growth. It's about being proactive, not reactive. It's about evolving with the times and always being ready to face whatever challenges come our way. Adaptation is the bridge between failure and success. It's the key to turning our setbacks into comebacks, our mistakes into stepping stones, and our failures into the foundations of our future success. And that, my friends, is the true power of adaptation. Finally, we come to the last step in learning from failure: resilience. Resilience, it's a word that carries so much weight. But what does it truly mean? It's the ability to bounce back, to weather the storm and keep going, even when the odds are stacked against us. Resilience is not about never failing. It's about understanding that failure is an integral part of our journey to success. It's about rising every time we fall, brushing off the dust and saying, "I can do this." Resilience is about standing in the face of adversity and saying, "I am stronger than this." But how do we build this resilience? It's not something that happens overnight. It's a continuous cyclical process that starts with experiencing failure. When we face failure, it's natural to feel disappointment, to feel like we've hit a roadblock. But it's crucial to shift our mindset, to see failure not as a setback, but as an opportunity to learn and grow. Reflection is the next step in this cycle. It's about taking a step back, looking at our failure from a different perspective, and asking ourselves, what can I learn from this? Reflection allows us to gain insights from our mistakes, insights that can guide us towards a better path. Then comes adaptation, the art of making changes based on what we've learned. It's about tweaking our strategies, refining our approaches, and redefining our paths to success. But the cycle doesn't end here. It's about persevering, about pushing through the challenges, about never giving up. And it's through this perseverance that we build resilience. This cycle of experiencing failure, shifting our mindset, reflecting, adapting, and persevering, it's what builds our resilience. It's what allows us to bounce back from failure and keep going, no matter how hard the journey gets. Resilience is not about avoiding failure, but learning how to thrive despite it. So, how do we turn failure into a stepping stone for success? You see, it all begins with a mindset shift. Instead of viewing failure as a dead end, we must learn to see it as a detour, a chance to recalibrate our roadmap to success. Next, we harness the power of reflection. Look back not with regret, but with curiosity. What could we have done differently? What did we learn that can help us in the future? This is where the seeds of growth are planted. Then we adapt. We take these lessons and apply them, adjusting our strategies, honing our skills. We become a better version of ourselves, equipped with newfound knowledge. And finally, resilience. We get knocked down, but we get up again, stronger, wiser, and more determined. We keep going, keep learning, keep growing. Remember, it's not failure that defines us, but how we rise after falling.